warm up just to get the blood flowing. And then, like I said, we will dive into our workout from here. And this is definitely going to be one of those workouts that sort of flows one exercise to the next. So have some water nearby. And if you ever feel like you sort of want to take a little break and grab some water, or just to take a break in general, because we're definitely going to be hitting core pretty hard today. Just make sure you have everything you need right next to the mat. Let down the toes again, just get the blood pumping, loosen up the muscles, and sort of draw all of your thoughts into the movement of your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's move right into high kicks. Start to stretch out those hamstrings. Oops, ignore that. Again, just spend all of today focusing on getting deeper into movements, moving your muscles through a fuller range of motion, focusing on core strength. So that's abs, glutes, lower back, to be hitting all of that. Let's go one more each side. And then right into the knees to chest. Pull the knee in. Open as wide as you can. And drop. Starting to find that center of gravity. Starting to tuck the tailbone and tighten the core to make sure the body stays stable as you move through and open up those hip flexors and stretch the glutes. Last one here. Pull. Open. And drop. Go ahead and shake the legs out. Nice wide stance here. Arms up and out to the side. Just start with that gentle pull right to left. Starting to loosen up the torso and the shoulders. Pulling through the fingertips. Keep the hips and shoulders facing forward here. And go ahead and start to rotate the arm that you're sort of trailing behind. The palm turns behind you and then all the way up to the ceiling. And switching sides, fixing that twist as you come through the center. Let's go 3, 2, big pull. One more. And go ahead and square the hips off at the top and go right in for those toe touches. Right hand reaches for the left foot. And again, just sort of paying attention to any tightness in the muscles and giving your body a little gentle push into that stretch. Pushing your butt behind you. Drawing your chest down towards your legs. Up to the center. Go ahead and slow that stretch down so you can sort of linger at the bottom, really pushing your butt back behind you. And up to the top. Let's go one more each side. Stand up nice and tall, always squaring those hips off before you twist into that reach. One more. And then go ahead and stand up nice and tall. Leave your heels right where they are. Take a deep breath in. Reach for the ceiling, elongating that spine. And go ahead and reach for the floor. Push the butt back behind you. And just let the weight of your chest pull you down towards the mat naturally here. If you can walk your hands, start to walk your hands a little bit behind your body here. Just a little bit of an extra stretch, extra little reach. Walk them forward again. And we're going to alternate twisting reaches here. So go ahead and leave your left hand on the floor. And all I want you to do is twist the torso, open that right hand up to the ceiling. Right back down to the mat. Reach the left hand up to the ceiling as you twist the torso. To the mat. Let's go one more each side. Right hand lifts up. Shoulder follows, chest follows. A little bit deeper stretch on that left inner thigh. Last one here, reach with the left arm. Open up that chest. And then back right down to the mat. Just take a minute here to sink in again. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk those hands over to the right side. Drop the butt down, bend at the knee, and dip down into that low side lunge. For this time through, I want you to leave your toes pointed forward on the left side. Chest is nice and tall, opening up the hips here. When you're ready, straighten out that right leg. Walk the hands over to the left. And again, bend at the knee, drop the hips back behind you, and into that deep squat. Try to keep the chin and chest nice and tall. Let's go one more time, up and over to the right side. Sit deep in that squat. This time, you can let the toes on the left foot travel up towards the ceiling. You can feel the hips sort of rotate here a little bit, and you can feel the pull of the muscles just sort of change positions. Toes down. Go ahead and straighten that right leg. Walk the hands over to the left side and drop that butt down again. Now the toes on the right foot can rotate up towards the ceiling. Again, you'll feel that hip move a little bit and just feel the muscles sort of change, stretch. It's not dramatic. Super simple, but it's there. All right, go ahead and straighten both knees. Walk the hands to the center. Walk the heels in just one, and then the toes in just one, so you're a little bit closer towards your hands, but not all the way in. One more sort of deep breath in, exhale, and sink into the stretch. And then roll those shoulders up to the ceiling. Still a slightly wider stance here. We're going to go into a little bit of a body weight windmill, so I want you to reach for the ceiling with your right arm. Let the left hand lead you down the side of your left leg, towards the front, towards the toes. Full stretch, and then push that right hand back up towards the ceiling. Left hand reaches for the ceiling, and you're going to let the right hand guide you down the side and sort of front of that right side as far as you can get into it, whether that's the knee, the calf, or all the way to the floor. You'll feel that stretch, and then I want you to push right back up to the ceiling. One more each side. Right hand up to the ceiling. Lead down the body. Feel the stretch in the legs and the torso. And then I want you to push right back up to the ceiling. Left hand reaches for the ceiling. One more windmill. Stretching as deep into this one as you can go. And then push that left hand right back up to the ceiling. Go ahead and crisscross the arms and shake the legs out. I'm just going to turn direction because we are going to make our way down onto the mat here after this next exercise. So we're going to start with a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. All I want you to do is drop into a squat. Your toes. You're going to straighten the legs, lift the butt up into the air. So kind of a Frogger squat here, and then back into that deep squat. So we're sort of taking the mid part of the squat and the first part of the deadlift and combining here to wake up the quads, wake up the hamstrings and the glutes, and get into a breathing pattern here too. Focusing on nice, deep inhales, slow exhales. Let's go one more deep squat. And then straighten those legs. Instead of standing up out of this, I want you to walk the hands forward, inch your way out into a full plank. And hold steady. That butt comes low. I want you to find that nice straight line here. This sort of begins the core portion of the workout. So for now, we're just going to lock in a really nice core form for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to use that active plank style. So pull up through the core to reach back and start with some toe touches. Right hand reaches for that left toe. And again, this is a great place to sort of focus in on what I was talking about while we were warming up. That you could easily just sort of jack the hips up towards the ceiling and ignore the core here. But I want you to take these movements really nice and slow. We're going to spend plenty of time in each of them. So focus on your core, doing the work. Feel that strength come from inside of your belly rather than pulling tight from the outside in. And always coming back to lock in that nice straight plank. Let's go one more toe touch each side. And then back into that plank. Quick hold here. All right, a lot of time in this first core round. What I want you to do is touch down to the mat with your knees and then right back up into that plank. Again, take this super slow. Be in control of that touchdown. Nice and gentle to the mat and then lift back up. Pushing the core to wake up this morning and put in some work. Potentially even before coffee. 4, 3. One more knee tap to the ground. Plank hold. And then just gently draw your hips to the mat. Toes flatten behind you. And find yourself in that cobra. You can close your eyes if you want to. I want you to pull your shoulder blades down and back. We're going to go down into a half cobra. Give the shoulders a little bit of a break. So down to the forearms. Again, we're looking for a little bit of a break for the shoulders here, but we're still lifting, arching through the back. Chest is nice and tall. Shoulders are drawn down and back. Go ahead and tuck the toes back under and lift into a forearm plank. Finding that nice straight line again. Yep. Excellent. Okay, from here, we're going to go into dolphin. So again, I want you to think about that active plank, sort of pulling through your core, hips up to the ceiling, pushing back. And then draw forward back into that forearm plank. And just move gently through this exercise. Taking those deep breaths in when you can. Up. Let's go one more. Hips up to the ceiling. Pull the core in. A nice quick hold in this forearm plank. From here, we're going to shift into a side plank. We're going to start on the left side. Forearms on the mat. So leave the forearm right where it is. Open up the right side of the body and reach for that ceiling. For the first part of this side plank, I want you to keep both knees up off the ground. Focus on those nice straight lines. Taking some deep breaths in here. If your body is starting to shake with the hold, that's okay. That's that strength developing. Go ahead and bend the bottom knee and drop the bottom knee to the floor. So now you've got a little bit of help there with the balance. Let's just do a quick leg lift here. Right leg lifts up and touch the toe down. Up. A little bit of balance again coming out of that left leg, but now we're working the glutes on the right side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and straighten that bottom leg out. Twist into the forearm plank and all the way over into that right arm plank. I'm just going to switch sides so I can see. So right forearm plank here. Hips are high, both knees up off the ground to start us off. We're thinking nice straight lines here. Shoulders and hips facing forward. Takes a lot of focus, a lot of strength as the body gets tired. Go ahead and bend that bottom knee and drop the knee to the floor. A little bit of a a help there. And then when you're ready, start with those leg lifts. Toe comes up, touches down to the floor, and then right back up. Again, hitting those glutes, which are a big part of your core muscular system, or structure, I should say. Lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into that forearm plank. So go ahead and straighten that right leg out. Twist to the center. And one more time, I'm just going to turn it around. Twist to the center and find that forearm plank. Lock it in. Try to stay strong here. 4, 3, 2. Go ahead and up into a high plank. Finish out this hold, and then we're going to get into a little bit of lower body mobility work here. So we're going to start with a deep runner's lunge. You're going to step to the outside of your hand. So let's start with the right foot. Step it forward as far as you can. Transfer some weight over to that right foot just so you can sort of give the shoulders a break, and then step it back into high plank. Left foot comes forward. Alternating sides. And as we take those consecutive steps forward, I want you to try to get that foot a little bit closer up towards the hands. Always keeping that sort of third eye on your plank form. And again, make sure you're shifting some of that weight onto the heel, taking some of the work from the shoulders. Yes, nice. Let's go one more each side. Starting to feel those hips open up. And then back into that high plank for a quick hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and step the right foot forward, this time in between your hands. You can take 2 steps if you need it. And I really want you to now shift the focus so you are sort of trying to make most of the body weight go over the heels here. I want you to leave the left hand on the mat. Go ahead and open that right hand up to the ceiling. Big rotation here and back down to the mat. Keeping the left hand on the mat, you're just going to move through this rotation, opening up to the right side. Take it nice and slow. What I want you to feel is that twist through the hip flexor and through the glutes. Super focused here. Big stretches. Long holds, so there's a lot of endurance work happening. Let's go one more reach and open. Excellent. Down to the mat. Go ahead and drop that back knee onto the mat. And sit the hips back into that hamstring stretch here. Even everything out. Give the shoulders even a little bit more of a break. Deep breath in and exhale. Go ahead and bend that front knee again. And we're going to go into that 90-90 hold that we have done before. So use your hands to gently lower the right hip down towards the mat. Adjust as much as you need to here so that right leg is in a 90 degree in front. And the back leg is 90 degrees out from the side and back behind you. What I want you to do is use your fingertips to help balance, even out the hips, even out the shoulders here. Again, you can close your eyes, and I want you to exhale tension that you're feeling in that left glute and the hips. And just let yourself sort of gently sink into this stretch. Just think about releasing that tension, letting your hips open up. Those shoulders are staying down and back. We'll sit with this for enough time that you can really get into the feeling of that openness. All we're going to do, we're going to sort of flip this around to a 180. So again, you're going to use your fingertips to help this movement. I want you to lift. So simultaneously, you're going to lift the right knee up, push the left or the right foot into the floor. Left knee comes up, and twist the hips all the way around 180 degrees, and then again, use those fingertips to sort of adjust your body, level out the hips, level the shoulders, and then again, close your eyes and just try to breathe out any tension that you're feeling, sort of holding the glutes and the hips nice and they're holding tight. You want to breathe that out and let yourself sink into this stretch a little bit more. Taking deep breaths in, long, slow exhales. To get out of this 90-90, again, we're going to use your fingertips on the mat, and you're going to lift that left hip up off the mat, push the left foot into the mat. You have to do a little bit of movement here to adjust and make sure you're in the center of the mat, but all you're going to do is sit back over that knee, and let's get that hamstring stretch going on again. This time, your left leg is in front. We're just going to balance everything out here, so you should feel that stretch from your calf all the way up the hamstring. Go ahead and draw the hips forward. Hands stay on the mat. So the left leg is bent. Go ahead and straighten out that right leg. And you're in that deep lunge position one more time. Keep the right hand on the mat this time. And go ahead and start with those rotations, opening up the chest to the left. Stretching through that left glute. And then back down through the mat. Breathe in, open up. Stretch through the hip flexor. And back down. All right, we're going to get into a little bit of strength work coming up here. Then as always, we start that strength work by stepping back out into a high plank. So one more rotation. Hands to the mat. And go ahead and step it out into that high plank position. And lock in. Let's get that core engaged again. All right, shoulders stacked over the wrist. Find that really nice form first. And then let's start with some active planks here. So what I want you to think of is a string pulling up through your belly button, sort of rounding your lower back up towards the ceiling. And then relax and let the hips drop just below good plank form. And then again, that string draws the belly button up towards the ceiling. And relax, let the hips drop just below plank form. Let's do two more. Drop up through the belly button. Really focused core work here. And down. Last one. Pull up. And this is all about the core, control, and movement. All right, lock in that plank for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop the knees to the mat. We're going to go down onto the forearms again to give the shoulders a little bit of a break here, but also to lock in really good form for the core. What I want you to do is straighten out that right leg back behind you, toes touching the mat, nice flexed foot here. And all we're going to do is a straight leg lift so that heel goes up to the ceiling and right back down to the mat. Focus on keeping that right hip facing the mat so you're not twisting into this lift. This is truly about that glute. And again, keep it nice and slow. Super, super controlled here. That's what we're looking for, is you're in control of this movement. Get ready for a bit of an extension here. So we're hitting, like I said, a little bit of strength and endurance here. Go ahead and lift, heels up towards the ceiling. I want you to draw the heel in towards your butt. And then straighten that right leg out. Heel in and out. And as you're doing this extension, this bend and extension, I want you to sort of resist the movement. So imagine you're doing a lying leg curl or something of that nature, and you have force pulling against what you're trying to do. That's what I want you to focus on. One more. Draw the heel in. Extend and draw that right knee down onto the mat. Left leg goes straight out behind you. Toes are on the mat. Flex that foot, and we're going to lift up and toes touch down. Again, use this time to sort of make sure that hip faces the mat. It doesn't open up to the side. Some deep breaths in here. Close your eyes if you want to. That makes you focus a little bit more on the movement at hand. Excellent. We're going to get ready for that extension in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels up. Bend at the knee, draw the heel in, and then extend. And again, you're really looking for that resistance against the movement. Taking deep breaths in here. Shoulders are taking a break. Core is stabilizing, but it's not necessarily doing a ton of work. Pull that knee in towards your butt. And then extend as far as you can, keeping the toes, the heels nice and high. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees to the mat. We're not done with the glutes yet. I want you up on all fours here. We're going to start with a little bit of a hip rotation. So we're back on all fours, and we're going to go back over to the right side. We're going to move from a fire hydrant to sort of the second half of a kickback. So on all fours, hands stacked beneath the wrists. Find that nice straight line, tuck the core in. You're going to lift the right leg up into that fire hydrant. Keep the knee high. Twist the knee back behind you and draw it back into your center. Lift, rotate, and draw it right back in. And again, we're looking to keep the core nice and tight. Controlled movements here. And down. Lift, rotate, and down. Let's do one more, then we're going to shift over to that left side. Lift, rotate, and down. Shift it over. Left side. Lift, rotate, and bring it in. And again, if you can keep your mind connected to the muscles doing the work, you're going to feel the movement a lot more. You'll get a lot more out of it because you'll actively be sort of paying attention to the muscles that you want to work and grow and strengthen. Bring it in. One more lift. Rotate and draw it in. All right, we're not quite done, but we're getting closer. Straighten that right leg out back behind you. Toes one more time to the mat. We're going to do some arcs here. So keep your toes on the mat. All I want you to do is open up an arc to the side and then right back behind you. Toes stay on the mat. Open. And right back behind you. Again, we're looking to keep the torso nice and straight. So as that foot travels to your side, you're going to feel the obliques sort of twist a little bit here. Everything sort of contracts to keep the toes down. Yes, nice. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right knee in. Straighten that left leg out behind you. And again, arcing out to the side, 90 degrees here from the body, and then right back behind you. Keeping the toes nice and low to the mat. Don't worry, I promise we will stretch out. We're coming up. So when these arcs are done, we're going to sit back in a child's pose. If you need some water, this would be a good time to grab it. We're over the halfway mark, but we do have a little bit of work to go. 3, 2, and 1. Both knees into the body. Go ahead and sit back in that child's pose. Stretching out those glutes. Taking a deep breath in and just letting all of the muscles sort of relax here into a deep child's pose stretch. Nicely done. Take a deep breath in. Again, sink into child's pose. We have a bit more mobility, a bit more core to get through before we're done. But we'll give our bodies a little bit more time to breathe easily here. Back up onto all fours. We're just going to move between a cat-cow pose. So again, keeping it nice and simple. This is really about stretching everything back out and giving the muscles a little bit of a breather while still moving, still working on mobility, still working on control, and still working on that mind-muscle connection. Take this time to sort of feel what happens as you tuck the tailbone under and round the back up to the ceiling, and then push the hips forward. Excellent. One more time through each position. Go ahead and step it out into that high plank. Here we go. Let's get back into it here. Another hold coming at us. It's been a minute since we've done a plank, so lock in that form. Let your body feel that strength again. Deep breath in here. I want you to let the hips fall towards the mat into a full cobra. Shoulders down and back. Lift the chest and chin. Couple of deep breaths in, long, slow exhales. Go ahead and bend at the elbow down into that half cobra. Shoulders take a little bit of a break here. Got a little bit of a core challenge coming up here. So take a deep breath in, and when you're ready, go ahead and lift the hips up off the mat into that forearm plank and hold. Taking that deep breath in. So we're going to finish up, definitely hitting the core here, working our way back to the top of the workout. All right. Hold on to that form. What I'm going to have you do is bring in those knee taps again. So gently tap the knees to the ground and right back up. Not quite as far to go this time in the forearm plank rather than the high plank. Tap. And right back into that nice straight hold. Hold tight here. I know the core is getting tired. Hold strong. Tap for 4, 3. Tap down for 2. One last tap and then hold. 3, 2, up into a high plank position. And I want you to reach back for those toe touches. Right hand for the left toe and forward. Working our way back to the top here. Full on stretch this morning. Full on core workout. Your glutes are feeling it. Your abs are feeling it. All the way through. Don't lose sight now of that conscious effort to have the core, the abs doing the work here. Reach and drop forward. One more reach each side here. Core up. Tap the toe. Last one. And draw forward into that high plank. Again, quick hold here. All right, go ahead and press those hips up towards the ceiling into a downward dog. Let the chest and shoulders fall towards the toes. Relax the shoulders and walk the feet forward towards the hands into that forward fold. Taking a deep breath in here, exhale and sink that chest deeper into this fold, closer to your legs. What I want you to do is tuck those fingertips underneath your toes. We're going to bend at the knees and drop the hips back into that low squat. And then you're going to straighten the legs into the bottom half of that deadlift. So a familiar movement Should be feeling a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more mobile moving through from deep squat. Keep letting the body do its thing here. Starting to feel those quads again. Let's go for 3. 2. And 1. And this time from the deadlift, go ahead and roll those shoulders up to the ceiling. Big shoulder rolls back behind you. As much movement there as you can get. 3, 2. 1 last roll. And just shake everything out. You should be feeling your core, your glutes. You guys rocked. Thank you.